प्रचलुलिताश्रमवार्यलं कृतासे मम निशितशरे विभिद्यमाना त्वचि विलसत् कवचेस्तु कृष्ण आत्मा सपदि सखीवजो निशम्य मदे निज परयोर्बलयोरतं निवेश्य स्थितरतचरणोऽभ्यचलद्गुर् हरिरिवहन्तुमिवं गतो तरीयः रसैनिकायुरक्ष्मा धृतरथि पार्थ सखे व्यवहितवृतना मुखं निरीक्ष्य स्वजनवधाद्विमुखस्य दोषबुद्ध्या कुमतिमहरदात्मविद्ययाय चरणरति परमास्य तस्य मेस्तु स्वनिगममपहाय मत्प्रतिज्ञा मृतमधिकर्तुमवप्लुतो ततस्तः धृतरतचरणोऽभ्यचलद्गुर् हरिरिवहन्तुमिवं गतो तरीयः सितविशिखहतो विशीर्णदंशः शतज परिप्लुत आतता हीनो मे प्रसभमभिससार स्युधिष्ठिरराजसूय एषाम् अरहनमुपपिदईक्षणीयो मम दृशिगोचर एष आविरात्मा तमिममहमजं शरीरभाजं हृदि हृदि दिष्टितमात्मकल्पितानाम् प्रतिदृशमिव नैकदार्थमेकं समधिगतोऽस्मि विधूतभेदमोहः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna to every one of you. How many of you here are here for the first time today? You didn't come yesterday. Fine. A very brief introduction. We have with us His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, who is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He's from the Indian Institute of Sciences, a Master's in Science and Automation. System Science and Automation. And besides all that, he is a master because he is a dean in the Bhaktivedanta. And so, Prabhu has been teaching Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita in the Vidyapit. There's a 2-year course actually in Govardhan Eco Village that people just study Srimad Bhagavatam. And so Prabhuji has been teaching. Prabhuji is an author of 35 plus books. They're all in the book tables. The Bhagavata Subodhini, Gita Subodhini, as well as Bhagavata Tales, Bhagavad Gita Tales for Children, and besides so many more titles, and he continues to be writing. He is very prolific in the Shastras, quotes Shastras so very wonderfully. And we have today the second day of Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. Generally, Bhagavatam is generally considered in a SAPTAH, 7-day session. But Bhagavatam has got 18,000 shlokas. 7 days is just insufficient, even for covering it, even if you do the full 7 days. Parikshit, of course, sat through day and night and heard it. But then Saptaha generally runs. They just run so fast that they hardly cover anything. We said we're going to just focus on one chapter, and that's the chapter that we are covering today, and that's Bhishma Stuti, the prayers of Bhishma Pitamaha. So without taking too much of your time, we'll have a continuous 1.5 hour session. At the end, we'll have a question answer session. If you have some questions, please jot it down. We may have an opportunity for just 3 from the men and 3 from the women, quick questions that we will take. Only one question a person can ask. As far as other points for control, request everybody to park your cars, whatever be the vicinity, ensure you don't park covering the garage of any of the villas on the back side. Number 1. Number 2, as people are walking out, whenever you finish your program, you'll have parcel prasad. We don't want you to get out of this gate until and unless you know what you're going to do after going there. We don't want cars to come and pick anybody in this road because this is a main road. This is a very, very busy road and we have honking. So we want every one of you to actually walk together and go to your car, either in the back or here. Do not block any traffic at this particular spot, right? So continuously all these days, we're starting immediately after the iftar time, and that's what we're doing today. We'll have some question answers. We'll have a kirtan at the end. Do not forget to own a set of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita, which you can book and get it delivered for you here in Dubai or in India. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mahesh, Gauranga Prabhu, and the entire family for hosting the program here. And you'll all have a prasad parcel to carry out. We'll finish sharp at 9. Every day we have a sankalpa. There are various devotees who have supported this program or sponsored the program in the memory of their departed. It's not that Bhagavad Saptah has to be only the memory of departed. This is why everybody, all of us should listen to it. Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. It's a must for all of us to do. But then we are just having a simple sankalpa. What you see here is a spread of 18 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam that we want every one of you to own. If you're hearing here, please have in mind that you have to own a set of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's not very costly. Please own and read Srimad Bhagavatam every day. And do not miss a single day. Better for me not to come to you later. If as much as close to each other you sit, you're almost touching the back of the other person. That's the best. You're giving a massage to the other person too. As well, we have enough space because we are having difficulty. We will have a lot of people coming in. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Over to you. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभयचरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगमयी की यमुनमयी की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी देवी की कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees who have assembled here this evening. It is by the grace of the Supreme Lord Krishna, who descended on this planet 5,000 years ago, we have this wonderful literature, Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna not only descended on this planet and performed enchanting pastimes, he also incarnated as the literary incarnation Vyasadeva, and he has put all his beautiful pastimes in writing, knowing that Kali Yuga people don't have the bandwidth to just hear and remember. It has to be available in writing. So that's Krishna's grace, and later Vyasadeva's grace. 4,500 years passed. Again Krishna thought, I personally taught them the process of bhakti in the Bhagavad Gita. Again, in the form of Vyasadeva, I have taught them bhakti by writing Srimad Bhagavatam. But still these people are not taking the path of bhakti so seriously. Looks like I have to personally go on this planet and take the form of a devotee and personally practice bhakti yoga and teach them how to practice bhakti. So with that intention in mind, the Supreme Lord Krishna appeared as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he did not declare himself as God, but he adopted the mood of a devotee of the Supreme Lord, and he personally practiced bhakti, chanted the holy names of the Lord, and taught us how to practice bhakti. Right? Krishna, Vyasadeva, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted that in every nook and corner of this globe, the names of Krishna will be chanted. To make this prophecy true, many great acharyas in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara strived so much. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they did their glorious part in spreading the mission of Lord Chaitanya. Then we have Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So he has taken the process of Bhakti Yoga, the process of Krishna consciousness, especially the process of the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, to all parts of the globe. When Prabhupada was traveling to the West, he said, actually Srimad Bhagavatam is traveling to the west. As a humble, menial servant of Srimad Bhagavatam, I am accompanying Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the humility of Srila Prabhupada. And later, there are so many empowered representatives of Srila Prabhupada, like His Holiness Jayapatak Swami Maharaj, and many other wonderful disciples of Srila Prabhupada, who brought the path of Krishna consciousness to every nook and corner of this world by further expanding on what Prabhupada has given us. Now, so many devotees, hundreds of devotees gathered in this evening here in this country, Damodar Desh. Even the name is also so sweet, Damodar Desh. Since my beginning days of Krishna consciousness, one pastime of Krishna attracted my heart so much. Yesterday Sri Prabhu was saying that picture of Krishna, Murali Krishna, attracted me to ISKCON. But after coming to ISKCON, so one pastime of Krishna always attracted my heart, that is Damodar Leela. Where Krishna revealed to all of us how he is controlled by the love and affection of his devotees. Dama means rope, Udara means belly, and Damodara is one whose belly is tied by a rope of Mother Yashoda's love. Just before this Damodar Leela chapter, Damodar Leela comes in the 9th chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the previous chapter, 8th chapter, Krishna revealed the entire universe in his belly to Mother Yashoda. Right? And Mother Yashoda, within one chapter, he started tying that belly. So Prabhupada says, in the 10th canto, Damodar Leela Prabhupada says, even for argument's sake, let's accept that the impersonalists can become one with God. Let's accept. But even then devotees are better. How? Devotees are greater than God. Devotees can bring God under their control. So some kind of spiritualists or transcendentalists may become one with God, just for argument's sake, but devotees become greater than God. Mother Yashoda, by tying Krishna's belly with the rope of her love, she brought Krishna under her control, and because within that belly the universe is there, she brought the entire universe under her control. Right? So Krishna, along with the entire universe in his belly, is under the control of Mother Yashoda. Means devotee is greater than God. Not that devotee feels like that. We are always subordinates to Krishna. But it is Krishna's magnanimity that he gives more importance to his devotees more than he takes for himself. That is what Damodar Leela is. And in this Damodar Desh, which is named after Damodar Leela, or Damodar Bhagavan, we are discussing this Bhishma's pastime, where again Krishna gave more importance to his devotee Bhishma than himself. See, Krishna is there in that corner, sitting and hearing the lecture of Bhismadeva, while Bhishma, who is not in a position to give a lecture, lying on the bed of arrows and giving lecture. Right? So, and all these people, all these stalwart devotees of Krishna, the Pandavas, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakal, Sahadev, and many other universal celebrities, including Parashuram, Jamadagni, Sukadeva Goswami, Vyasadev, so many stalwart personalities. All over the universe, they have assembled there. Brahmarshis, Rajarshis, Devarshis. Brahmarshis means sages amongst Brahmanas. Rajarshis means saints amongst kings. Devarshis means saints amongst devatas. So all these Brahmarshis and Rajarshis and Devarshis and all different munis, Brahmanas, universal celebrities have assembled at this place to hear his lecture, which is giving on the bed of arrows. And Krishna is also listening to the lecture. Yes, Bhishma, you speak, I'll hear. Why? Krishna knows everything. Krishna knows everything, but still Krishna wants to give more importance to his devotees than he takes for himself. And this is where we stopped our katha yesterday. Yesterday, we gave a quick preview of the first 8 chapters of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we elaborated on the last few shlokas of the 8th chapter, where Yudhishthira Maharaj, the king of the Hastinapur kingdom at this moment, so he became little bewildered, very confused. He felt very guilty, repentant. Just to enthrone me as the king of Hastinapur, hundreds and thousands of soldiers have to give up their lives, and I am responsible for their death. What would happen to their families? So he was very perturbed. And Krishna tried to convince him, but Yudhishthira is not getting convinced. Dhaumya, the priest or the guru of the Pandavas, he tried to convince Yudhishthira Maharaj. He was not getting convinced. Vyasadeva, the author of Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam, he tried to convince Yudhishthira Maharaj, but Yudhishthira is not getting convinced. Krishna personally tried, but still Yudhishthira Maharaj is not getting convinced. And as we discussed yesterday, in this context, Krishna is described as Adbhuta Karmana, the performer of wonderful pastimes. Adbhuta Karmana. What is the Adbhuta Karma? What's the most wonderful and astonishing deed that Krishna has accomplished at this moment? To make an attempt to convince Yudhishthira Maharaj and inspire him from within not to get convinced. That is the Adbhuta Karma he has done. Why did he do so? Whenever you give an advice to somebody, your intention is that he should accept that advice. But Krishna is giving an advice to Yudhishthira Maharaj with an intention that he should not accept my advice. And is manipulating him. Match fixing. He is not allowing Yudhishthira Maharaj to get convinced about this, just so that Bhishma can convince Yudhishthira Maharaj, just to give that credit to his devotees. Krishna is very beautiful, extremely beautiful. Many devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam glorified Krishna's beauty. In the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Shiva glorifies Krishna's beauty in this way. Beautiful shloka. Snigdha pravridghanashyamam sarva saundarya sangraham charvayata chaturbahu sujata ruchirananam. Snigdha pravridghanashyamam means Krishna has a very glossy body, not matte finishing, glossy finishing. Right? Means he has very soft body. Snigdha pravridghanashyamam. His bodily complexion is like that of a dark monsoon cloud. Ghanashyamam. Sarva saundarya sangraham. Sarva means all. Saundarya means beauty. Sarva saundarya means all beauties. Sangraham means collection. So Krishna's form is collection of all beauties. Right? Krishna's form is the collection of all beauties. There is a lot of beauty in the material world. There are nice mountains and valleys and rivers and oceans and trees and gardens and waterfalls. So many beautiful things are there in this world. And in the spiritual world, there is unlimited beauty. Much more than the material world. You bring all these beauties put together. The source of all these beauties and the collection of all these beauties is Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, he is called Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. Sarva Saundarya Sangraham is collection of all beauties. In this beautiful shloka, which is spoken by Lord Shiva in the Rudra Gita, in the 4th canto of Bhagavatam, 24th chapter, there is a nice message embedded, which Prabhupada brings it out in his purport. He says, Sarva Saundarya Sangraham means Krishna is collection of all beauties, but there is a deeper meaning to this. Sarva Saundarya Sangraham means Krishna is collection of all beauties, not only physical beauties, Krishna's heart is also so beautiful. What is that aspect of beauty of Krishna's heart? What is the beauty of Krishna's heart? The beauty is Krishna gives more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. That's the beauty of Krishna. And this is the context here. Krishna wanted to give the credit of convincing Yudhishthira Maharaj and enlightening Yudhishthira Maharaj. He took a low profile. He took a back seat. Let Bhishma speak. I will not speak. Yeah? Even if I speak, let Yudhishthira not get convinced. Let Bhishma convince him. Krishna orchestrated the entire Kurukshetra war, but he made Arjuna the hero of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He made Bhima the hero of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He made Yudhishthira Maharaj the king. He is just a driver. He is the one who is guiding them, inspiring them, motivating them by teaching Bhagavad Gita, by giving them ideas time to time, protecting them wherever they are stuck. But Krishna never sat on the throne of Hastinapur. Although the Pandavas acquired their kingdom only because of Krishna's grace, still Krishna never took that kingdom of Hastinapur. He made Yudhishthira Maharaj to sit there. It is Krishna who killed Kamsa and protected Mathura city, but he never sat on the Simhasana of Mathura city. Who sat? Ugrasena Maharaj, Krishna's grandfather. He is the one who created this entire Dwarka fort overnight. But he never became the king of Dwarka. He is called Dwarkadhish because he is the Lord of all sweetness. But in one sense he is the master of Dwarka, but he is not the king of Dwarka. Right? In spirit, yes, he is the master of everything, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, but actually he never sat on the throne of Dwarka. Ugrasena Maharaj is sitting there. And Krishna is giving report. My dear king, this has happened like this has happened like that. He is just giving a report, accepting himself as a subordinate to Ugrasena Maharaj. So this is Krishna. He gives more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. Prabhupada also writes there in that purport that when Krishna was living in Vrindavan, Krishna killed Putana, Trinavarta, Aghasur, Bakasur, Vatsasur, Vyomasur, Arishtasur, Keshi, so many demons he killed. And some people, all these demons were envying Krishna. But when the Goswamis were living in Vrindavan, they were never envied by anyone. Dhira dhira jana priyau priyakarau nirmatsarau pujitau. Dhira adhira jana priyau priyakarau. All the Goswamis of Vrindavan are very, very dear to gentle people and ruffians. That is the greatness of the Goswamis. When Krishna was personally present, some people envied Krishna in Vrindavan. But when Goswamis were present in Vrindavan, nobody envied him. Everybody loved them. Krishna gives more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. Although Krishna killed so many demons in Vrindavan, when the time of this battle of Kurukshetra came, Krishna did not pick up a weapon. He took a vow, I will not pick up a weapon. Then who will pick up weapons? Arjun, Bhima, Yudhishthira, Pandavas will pick up weapons and they will kill. Now, if Krishna wanted to kill Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna, Shakuni, he could have killed within moments. Krishna defeated Jarasandha 17 times along with his 23 Akshohinis of armies. That includes like thousands and thousands of soldiers. Krishna defeated as a young boy. Krishna killed Kamsa. Krishna and Balaram killed Chanura, Mushtika, Shala, Toshala, Kota, all these powerful mountain-like wrestlers of Kamsa. And Krishna also killed this Kovalaya Pida elephant. But Krishna never killed Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna, Shakuni. Can you imagine? Before reading Krishna book or before reading Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, how many of you were aware of Arishtasur, Vatsasur, Vyomasur, Pralambasur, then what, Keshi? Putana is little popular and Kali is also popular. But many of these demons that Krishna killed in Vrindavan, they are not that popular, right? Did you know them before reading Krishna book or Bhagavatam? But before even reading Krishna book or Bhagavatam or coming to ISKCON, how many of us knew Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna, Shakuni? At least I can say for myself, I knew Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna, Shakuni even from a childhood, but I never knew who is Arishtasur, Vyomasur, Vatsasur, Pralambasur, Trinavarta. In fact, this Trinavarta, Aghasur, Vakasur, these are more powerful than this Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna, Shakuni. Many people in India know that Bakasur killed by Bhima, but hardly anyone knows the Bakasur killed by Krishna. Right? But all this Bakasur and all the mystic demons killed by Krishna in Vrindavan as a small child without using any weapons, they are more powerful than this Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna, Shakuni. Right? So Krishna killed more powerful demons and took a low profile. And Krishna allowed his devotees to kill more popular demons and made them popular. Can you just imagine? So humble Krishna is. When Krishna had to speak about himself, only 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita are there. And even in the 700 shlokas of Gita, only 574, 75 shlokas are spoken by Krishna. And even in those 500 plus shlokas, many shlokas Krishna is speaking philosophy. Very few shlokas Krishna spoke about himself. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate. Very few shlokas Krishna is speaking about himself, where he said mattaha parataram nanyat kinchit dhananjaya. Direct glorification, direct self-glorification of Krishna is very few shlokas. Maybe homework for you can count. Tomorrow you can come back with the count. Where did Krishna speak about his glories directly? Very few. But when a devotee glorifies Krishna, 18,000 shlokas of Bhagavatam. So Krishna is actually humble. And he wants his devotees to take more glory than himself. That's the background of Bhishma's episode in the first canto, 9th chapter. So, this is the beauty of Krishna. There is this shloka. Shri Narayana Pundarika Nayana Shri Rama Sita Pate Govinda Achyuta Nanda Nandana Mukunda Nanda Damodara Vishnu Raghava Vasudeva Nrihare Devendra Chudabade Samsararnava Karna Dharaka Hare Sri Krishna Tubhyam Nama. Shri Narayana Pundarika Nayana. Very simple string of holy names of the Lord. Shri Narayana, all of you know. Pundarika Nayana, the lotus-eyed Lord. Shri Rama Sita Pate. Understood? Govindachyuta Nanda Nandana Mukunda Nanda Damodara. Ananda Damodara. Is Damodara Ananda? He's crying. Rudantam Muhurnetra Yugmam Rijantam. He's crying profusely with his two hands. He's rubbing his eyes to produce more tears. And of course to also wipe out his tears. Because whenever Krishna is little sad or he's crying, Mother Yashoda would take her sari and then wipe his tears. But this time in Damodar Lila, Yashoda Mata is super strict. Very strict. She is not wiping Krishna's tears. So Krishna has to wipe his own tears with his hands. Rudantam muhurnetra yugmam rujantam karambhoja yugmena satanka netram muhushvasakam patri rekhanka kantha sthita graiva damodaram bhakti buddham. Bhakti buddham. Krishna is bound by the love of his devotees. Krishna is aham bhakta paradhino hi asvatantra ivadvijaha. He has no swatantrata. He has no independence because he is bhakta paradhina. He is completely captivated by, captured by, controlled by his devotees. That is Krishna. And that is Krishna's glory. Krishna has unlimited qualities. Rupa Goswami enumerated 64 qualities of Krishna. Although Krishna has 64 qualities and unlimited qualities, the best quality of Krishna is his mercy upon his devotees. His unparalleled affection for his devotees. That is the best quality of Krishna. Right? And what is our best quality? Krishna's best quality is to show affection upon all of us. And what is our best quality? We may have so many best qualities, so many great qualities, but our best quality is to reciprocate with Krishna's love and affection and receive that affection of Krishna. Right? That's the best part of ourselves. Best part of Krishna is to show affection, shower affection upon all of us, and best part of ourselves is to receive that affection. Right? Let's receive that affection of Krishna. By hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. One way of receiving Krishna's affection is by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? And by chanting Krishna's names. Now, Yudhishthira Maharaj is not getting convinced. And as we have been discussing for the last 15-20 minutes, and yesterday also towards the end of the class, we have been discussing. Krishna wanted to give the credit of counseling Yudhishthira Maharaj to Bhishma. So what did Krishna do? Krishna brought all the Pandavas to Bhismadeva. And Bhishma has been longing to see the Pandavas in such a royal attire. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto 9th chapter, that the Pandavas were dressed so nicely, so regally. They were in royal clothing, not like Vanavasis. Last 13 years they are in Vanavas. 12 years they were living in simple, humble forests. And 1 year they were incognito. They were not even revealing their identities properly to anyone. They are totally hidden. Nobody even knew their identity. So that person who is supposed to be Chakravarti, the king of Hastinapur, is hiding his identity and just doing some menial service in Virata's kingdom, who is like a subordinate king of Hastinapur. Right? And Bhima and other people, they are just doing some cooking and some simple dance teacher. Arjuna was a dance teacher during Virat Parva. See, Krishna can put devotees in any awkward circumstances. Please understand this point. Just because we are practicing bhakti, just because we are chanting Hare Krishna, don't expect your life to be a bed of roses. Even Bhishma is lying on bed of arrows, not roses, by the way. So let's not expect our life to be very smooth. Let's not expect our spiritual lives to be very smooth. Yes, there are difficulties. After all, we are living in this material world. So, finally, after undergoing so many difficulties, these Pandavas acquired their kingdoms, and Bhishma was very, very happy to see Yudhishthira Maharaj and remaining Pandavas dressed in a very royal attire. They are looking very regal. They wore crowns and exquisite clothing, nice ornaments. They were driving in golden chariots. And in fact, Sutta Goswami speaks in Srimad Bhagavatam that Yudhishthira Maharaj was looking like Kuvera. Kuvera, the treasurer of Devatas, the wealthiest of all the Devatas. If Devatas want to borrow some money, they will go to Kuvera. Right? We have some important work. Please give me some money. Lend me some money. I'll return it to you with interest. So Kuvera is the wealthiest personality. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was looking like Kuvera. Very royal, very regal. Then Krishna is trying to notice that happiness in the eyes of Bhishmadeva in seeing the Pandavas. So when a devotee is flourishing nicely, when a devotee is very happy and well situated, other devotees should feel happy. Just like Bhishma is feeling so happy seeing the Pandavas flourishing and happy, we also should feel happy seeing other devotees happy. If other devotees' happiness is causing some discomfort in our heart, causing some envy or jealousy in our hearts, causing a feeling of insecurity in our hearts, please understand we are not devotees. ऐसा होता है कभी-कभी, right? Seeing another devotee flourishing in his or her bhakti, seeing another devotee getting more and more opportunities to serve Krishna, seeing another devotee nicely serving or preaching or singing or learning or leading or whatever, if we are rejoicing the success of that devotee, we are devotees. If there is a feeling of discomfort in our hearts, if you feel very uncomfortable with the success of another devotee, we are not devotees yet. Right? We have a lot of flaws. One of the foremost flaws or defects in a sadhaka bhakta is envy. And those who are envious have no seat in the spiritual world. They cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. They cannot understand Bhagavatam. I am not saying this. Gita is saying this. In the Bhagavad Gita, what did Krishna say? Krishna told Arjuna, Arjuna, I am revealing this confidential secret of Bhagavad Gita to you because you are non-envious. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave. Anasuya, asuya means envy. Oh Arjuna, because you have no asuya, you have no envy, I am giving Bhagavad Gita knowledge to you. What is the qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita? Non-envy. Then yesterday we were reciting this shloka. Dharma projita kaita votra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vidyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayon mulanam. Nirmatsaranam satam vedyam. Bhagavatam is understood by those people who are non-envious. So non-envy is a qualification to understand Gita. Non-envy is a qualification to understand Bhagavatam. Can you just imagine how important it is for us to be non-envious? Let me tell you one secret, my dear devotees. One secret. When another person is in difficulty, to offer a helping hand to someone who is in difficulty is very easy. But to genuinely rejoice the success of another devotee is difficult. You agree with me? Because another devotee is in difficulty. You give them encouragement, give them counseling, give them whatever support they need, physically, financially, whatever it is. So when you are helping another devotee, still your hand is here, their hand is here. Your sense of false ego or false prestige is acknowledged there. Your sense of superiority over that other person who is struggling is established there. Oh, he's struggling, let me help. He's struggling, let me help. So it's easy to help somebody who is struggling. But it's difficult to appreciate someone who is above you. When someone is below you, you can extend a helping hand. When someone is above you, why is he above me? Can I do something to pull him down? Or can I do something to push myself up? That's the nature of this material world. Even while practicing bhakti, we may become little subjected to this envy, right? Jealousy, insecurity. But a real devotee is one who never feels insecure seeing another devotee flourishing in bhakti. In fact, such a devotee genuinely rejoices. He is genuinely happy. And to make Bhismadeva happy, Lord Krishna brought all the Pandavas in the last moments of Bhismadeva and showed them, see, here are your dear Pandavas, dear grandchildren. They are in a good position now. They are the rulers of Hastinapur now. Their enemies are gone now. Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna, Shakuni, Dhritarashtra, they will not be bothering them anymore. Just be happy. Happily give up this body. So he's saying this. He's indicating this. So Krishna wanted to give happiness to Bhishma. So why did Bhishma fight on the wrong side? Fight on Duryodhan's side? Many people misunderstand Bhishma. They think that why Bhishma had to fight on Duryodhan's side. He is throwing arrows against Krishna. He is showering arrows on Arjuna. He is taking vows. Tomorrow I am going to kill Pandavas. Tomorrow nobody can save Arjuna. Unless Krishna picks up a weapon, Arjuna will not survive. This is the vow that Bhishma is taking. My God, isn't it too much? How can a Vaishnava do like that? Generally, we offer worship to Krishna by offering nice fragrant flowers and flower petals, right? So, Gopinam nayanotpalarchitatanum go gopasanghavrutam. That's a beautiful shloka in the Padyavali by Rupa Goswami. It says, Fullendivara kantimendu vadanam barhavatam sapriyam Srivatsankamudara kaustubhadharam Pitambaram sundaram Gopinam nayanotpalarchitatanum go gopasanghavrutam Govindam kalaveduvadanaparam Divyanga bhusham bhaje. In this shloka, one line, very beautiful line, says, Gopinam nayanotpalarchitatanum. Krishna's body is nicely worshipped by the flower showers of gopis' loving glances. When gopis are lovingly glancing on Krishna, it's like flower showers falling on Krishna. When somebody sees us with love, with affection, with appreciation, with a genuine appreciation, that will nourish us, that will uplift us. But when somebody looks at us with envious glances, jealousy, disgust, then that will affect us negatively, right? So Krishna is lovingly looked at, lovingly glanced at by all the gopis. So the gopis are bathing Krishna with the flower showers of their glances. And here is Bhishma showering Krishna not with flowers, not with loving glances, but with angry glances. Not real anger, but the anger of a warrior. And he's showering Krishna with arrows, sharp arrows. And whenever there is blood on Krishna's body, Bhishma is rejoicing. Bhishma is enjoying. How can he be called a Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava? That too Mahajan. Mahajano yana gatasya pantha. We are supposed to follow the footsteps of Mahajans like Bhismadeva. So, one short explanation for this phenomena is Krishna wanted to teach an important lesson to the entire humanity. You know what is that lesson? However powerful you may be, however experienced you may be, however influential you may be, however expert you may be in military arts or whatever arts, however well-read you may be, however well-versed you may be in the scriptures and divine transcendental science, if you take the side of adharma, you will have to be defeated. Krishna wanted to give this message to all of us. Right? Vice can never win over virtue. Krishna wanted to establish this message. And Krishna personally made Bhishma fight on the wrong side. Bhishma's fighting on this wrong side or Duryodhana's side, Adharma's side, is not like a voluntary choice in one sense. It's not that he lovingly supported Duryodhana. It's not that he's enthusiastically, lovingly, with great eagerness supported Duryodhana. He never supported Duryodhana's views. He's always against Duryodhana's views. But Krishna kept Bhishmadeva in such a situation where he had to support Duryodhana and he had to be defeated by Arjuna, who is a younger warrior. He is a less experienced warrior. So Krishna wanted to prove to this world that if you take the wrong side, if you take the side of adharma, even if you are as experienced as Bhishma, you will be defeated by a less experienced general. Although Arjuna is not as experienced as Bhishma, Arjuna is not as learned or as expert as Bhishma in fighting, Arjuna could win over Bhishma because Arjuna is on the side of dharma and Bhishma is on the side of adharma. And Bhishma just acted as a actor while Krishna is the director. So Bhishma fell on this bed of arrows, and now Krishna came along with the Pandavas. When Krishna came with the Pandavas, Bhishma felt very happy. And Krishna arranged in such a way that at the same time, at this very moment, all the universal celebrities, big Brahmarshis, Rajarshis, Devarshis and Anyecha, Munayaha, Munis, Rishis, all these people also assembled there. Nobody had sent a WhatsApp message. Please circulate in all the groups of Brahmarshis and Rajarshis and Devarshis. So there is a Bhagavad Katha going on by Bhishmadev, and the audience are the Pandavas. So let everyone join this Bhagavad Katha. Nobody had sent a message. It's not advertised. No RSVP is registered. Right? But all of them came because Bhishma is going to depart from this world. And before departing, Bhishma is going to give some profound teachings to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Let's go and hear this Katha. And the supreme Kathakar, the most popular Kathakar of Bhagavatam, who is that? Sukadeva Goswami. He is also sitting in the class and hearing Bhishma's class. And the writer, the transcendental author of Srimad Bhagavatam, who is that? Vyasadeva. He is also standing and hearing Bhishmadeva's Katha. So Sukadeva Goswami is glorified so nicely in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Suta Goswami glorifies Sukadeva Goswami. Yahasvanubhavam akhila shruti saramekam adhyatma deepam atititir shatam tamondham samsarinam karunayaha purana guhyam tam vyasasunumupayami gurum muninam. Tam vyasasunumupayami gurum muninam. Here Sukadeva Goswami is described as the guru of all munis. Which muni? When Sukadeva Goswami is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, his guru Vyasa Muni is sitting in the audience and hearing. My dear son, my dear student, my dear Sishya, please speak Bhagavatam, I will hear. And his Parama Guru, Narada Muni is sitting and hearing. Vyasa Muni and Narada Muni, both of them are sitting when Shuka Muni is speaking. Shukamukhad Amrita Drava Samyutam. And Narada Muni and Vyasadev are hearing Sukadeva Goswami's Bhagavatam as if they are hearing for the first time. Vyasadeva was never thinking, I only wrote this pastime. I only taught him this pastime. He is not thinking like that. He is hearing as if he is hearing for the first time. That is the power of Sukadeva Goswami. And that Sukadeva Goswami, along with his Guru Vyasadeva, along with his Paramaguru Narada Muni, along with the Supreme Jagat Guru Krishna, sitting in Bhishmadeva's class and hearing. Can you just imagine Bhishma's glory? Bhishma is giving class and Yudhishthira Maharaj, the personification of Dharma, is hearing. Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam, Sakshat Bhagavan Krishna is hearing. Vyasadeva, the transcendental author of all the Puranas and Vedas and Srimad Bhagavatam, is hearing. And Sukadeva Goswami, the immortal speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, is hearing. Parashuram, the teacher of Bhishmadev, he is hearing. Dhaumya is hearing. And Vishwamitra is hearing. Gautama Rishi is hearing. And all their disciples are also hearing. They came to hear this class along with their disciples. The teachers and the students also came to hear this Supreme Teacher's class. And in what condition is he giving class? Not a single limb of his body was moving except his tongue. Every single inch of his body is pierced by Arjuna's arrows. None of them are moving. Only his tongue is moving. With the tongue, he gave a class and everybody is hearing. And now we are hearing. We are hearing here. So 500-600 devotees are sitting here in Dubai and in hearing. Harikatha, Bhishma's teachings, Bhishma's prayers. Not a small thing. What a great personality. If you misunderstand Bhishma, he fought on Duryodhana's side. That is one blame on Bhishma. Another blame, another bad reputation of Bhishma is, why did he keep quiet when Mother Draupadi is being disrobed? He had the ability to protect Mother Draupadi, but he kept quiet. He did not do anything to protect Draupadi. How is it appropriate? How can you call him Mahajan? Yesterday we were discussing briefly this point. This Bhishma not protecting Draupadi can be explained or described or interpreted in 100 different ways. But the best and the most devotional, spiritual and Vaishnava way of giving an explanation to this phenomena is when every single force fails, when every single power fails to protect you, Krishna is there to protect you. To facilitate giving this message to the whole world, Bhishma kept silent. Let Krishna come and protect. Let the whole world blame me that Bhishma, despite having the capacity to protect Draupadi, did not protect her. Let people blame me. Let people misunderstand me. Even after 5,000 years, let them blame. Not an issue. But let Krishna get the glory of protecting Draupadi. You see? Now, same logic here also. Krishna is trying to convince Yudhishthira Maharaj, there is nothing wrong on your part, my dear Yudhishthira. You fought on the side of Dharma. Duryodhana is meant to be punished. So many things Krishna said, but Yudhishthira is not getting convinced. Just like Bhishma allowed Krishna to get the glory of protecting Draupadi, in one sense, Krishna allowed Bhishma to get the credit of counseling Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he kept quiet. This is how devotees and Krishna give credit to each other. They don't fight for credit. Hey, I protected. Krishna says, I am protecting. I am the protector of devotees. You understand? I am the protector of devotees. You devotees keep quiet. You don't have to protect. I will protect. I have already declared, Yoga Kshema Mahamyaham. Then devotees never fight with Krishna. Krishna, always you will only protect. What will be our glory? No, we will also protect. You just keep quiet. We will protect. We will fight. They don't fight with each other. Krishna says, yes, Yogakshema Mahamyaham, but many times he takes care of the Yogakshema of his devotees through his devotees. That's why he said, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktaha pranashyati. O Kaunteya, you go and declare that my devotee will never perish. When you declare it, I will take it seriously. Then I will protect. Of course, even when devotee protects, that is by Krishna's grace only. Right? So, this morning in the Sunday feast, in that school, international school, we were discussing Ambrish Maharaj's episode very briefly. So, although Narayana, Lord Vishnu had the ability to protect Durvasa Muni, he did not protect. He wanted Ambrish Maharaj to get the credit of protecting Durvasa Muni. Sudarshan Chakra will continue to chase you till you fall at the feet of Ambrish Maharaj, and till Ambrish Maharaj recommends, he sends a recommendation letter to me that, oh my dear Vishnu, oh Sudarshan Chakra, please release Durvasa Muni. Don't chase, don't kill him. I need a recommendation letter from Ambrish Maharaj. Till then, no protection. Sudarshan Chakra will chase you, you keep running. The Lord wanted the credit of protecting Durvasa Muni to Ambrish Maharaj. Although Durvasa Muni went all the way to Vaikuntha. He went to Shivaloka, he went to Brahmaloka, he went to different lokas, he went all the way to Vaikuntha, and he met Vishnu, fell at his feet, oh Lord, Anyatha Sharanam Nasti Tvameva Sharanam Mama. Still he did not listen. My devotee should protect you, not me. This is how the Lord and his devotees keep giving credit to each other. Right? The devotee does the needful to enhance the glories of Krishna. To propagate Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada traveled all over the world. To propagate Krishna consciousness, let Krishna be popular. And let devotee be popular. So Krishna also says, let the devotees be popular. Let Arjuna get the credit of killing all the prominent warriors of Kurukshetra battle. Let Bhima get the credit of killing all the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra. I'll just keep quiet. When a devotee acts as an instrument in Krishna's will, Krishna loves to act as an instrument in devotee's will. This is their love, mutual love between each other. Now Bhishma is lying on this bed of arrows. Then all these universal celebrities came. Krishna, Pandavas, different sages and devatas came there along with their disciples. Now, Bhishma is such an exemplary personality. He had to receive all these guests. Whenever a guest comes to your home, you need to give the guest good reception. Right? Whatever best thing you have, you offer it to the guest. But Bhishma did not have a home. He did not have a servant. He did not have anything in his disposal to offer to all these prominent guests. Very great guests are coming. All he had is a tongue that is moving. His hands were not functional. His legs were not functional. None of his bodily limbs were functional. He does not have any property to offer. He cannot even give them water also. Forget feeding them a big meal. He cannot even give them water also. All he can do at this moment is offer some sweet words of welcome and reception. Sutta Goswami says, very beautiful. Desha Kala Vibhagavit. This comes somewhere in the first canto, 9th chapter, and maybe 6th or 7th or 8th or 9th shloka, somewhere it's there. Desha Kala Vibhagavit. So there are very standard principles of guest reception. How a Brahmana is supposed to receive, how Kshatriya is supposed to give reception to Brahmanas or any other guests. So there are some standard norms, right? There are some basic minimum you need to do in guest reception. But all these principles and standards and protocols and policies and do's and don'ts and rules and regulations will take different forms according to time, place, circumstances. This is called Desha Kala Vibhagavit. According to Desha, place, Kala, time. So you need to adopt to the principles. Now, Bhishma is supposed to offer reception to all these great personalities, but he did not have sufficient means to offer reception. So what should he do? he just offered some sweet words of reception, sweet words of welcome to all these devotees, all the great personalities. He received them like that. So, Prabhupada writes in another canto, fourth canto Bhagavatam, Narada Muni was guiding Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj had an ambitious desire. I want to attain a position superior to my great grandfather Brahma. He had an ambitious desire. So he wanted to worship Lord Vishnu. And Narada Muni said, you please worship Lord Vishnu by chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You chant this mantra, you go to Vrindavan, you go to a specific forest called Madhuvan, and you stand on the banks of Yamuna river, and you make a small deity of Krishna with clay, with mud, and you start worshipping him with flowers, forest flowers that are available. Tulasya Priyaya Prabhum, you also offer tulsi leaves. So like that, Narada Muni gave some guidelines. In that context, Prabhupada says that Dhruva is a small child, 5-year-old boy. And he is trying to worship the Lord in a forest, not in a big city. And the means for acquiring ingredients is also very limited. So what should Dhruva do in such circumstances? Whatever is locally available, he can offer it to Krishna. He doesn't have bandwidth to get so many big things. He cannot have a marble deity to worship the Lord. He does not have that means. He can just make a small deity with clay. He may not have like very refined form, features of the deity. He can have some kind of feature. He can start worshipping. So we need to adopt according to the local circumstances. Prabhupada says, offering Ganga, Yamuna water for your worship is great. But if you don't have Ganga and Yamuna flowing in front of your home or in a place where you are staying, what will you do? Take any clean water and invoke the presence of all rivers. Gange Yamuna Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sanidhim Kuru. You invoke the presence of these holy rivers, and then with that auspicious waters which are sanctified by mantra chanting, you worship the Lord. So you need to adopt according to time, place and circumstances. Similarly, Bhismadeva, he could not implement all the great standards of guest reception, but he welcomed all these great guests with his sweet words. That's all. Right? So with this background, our Bhishma started speaking to the Pandavas. Our class begins now. Whatever I spoke now is a prelude. Okay. Yesterday was one prelude. This is another prelude. What's the time now? Okay, fine. We'll end on time, don't worry. Today is a short class. So, Bhishmadeva started speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj. What was going on in the mind of Yudhishthira Maharaj? Guilt, repentance, paschatapa, sorrow. He's feeling so bad. Oh, I am so sinful. Just to enthrone me as the king of Hastinapur, hundreds and thousands of lakhs of soldiers had to lay down their lives. I am the cause of their death. I am so sinful. He is feeling like that, right? So to console him, our Bhishmadeva said, Aho kashtamahon nyayam yadyuyam dharmanandana Jeevitam narhata klishtam vipradharmachyutashraya. Yeah, good. You projected. You can also recite after me. Aho kashtamahon nyayam. Aho kashtamahon nyayam. Yadyuyam dharmanandana. Yadyuyam dharmanandana. Jeevitam narhata klishtam. Vipradharmachyutashrayah. Vipradharmachyutashrayah. This shloka is there in that book. This is the book. This small book is given to everybody. So this shloka is there here, right? So he says, Aho kashtam, aho anyayam. Kashtam means difficulty. Very clear meaning. Anyayam, means injustice. What is the difference between kashtam and anyayam? Very, very refined words he is using. Aho kashta means you underwent so many difficulties. Clear. Aho anyaya means you faced so many injustices. When you say difficulty, the difficulty may not be caused deliberately by someone else. Right? For example, you have fever. Did someone cause that fever? You have cold. Did someone cause that cold to you? Or you have some other disease or some other difficulty that may not be caused by somebody else. There is adhyatmika, adibhautika, adidaivika kleshas. Adhyatmika kleshas means miseries caused by one's own body and mind. They are not caused by other people. So kashtam is generally not caused by someone specifically speaking. Yeah, some people cause difficulties, but every kashtam is not caused by somebody. Nobody is deliberately trying to trouble you. That is kashtam. But anyayam means someone is doing injustice. Someone is trying to attack you. Someone is misbehaving with you. That is anyayam. Injustice is done. Aho kashtam, aho anyayam. So you faced both difficulties and injustices, he said. Difficulties can be tolerated, but injustice need not always be tolerated. But the Pandavas are so glorious and so virtuous that they tolerated even injustices also. Injustices done by Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan, Dushasana and many other people. They were subjected to so many difficulties and injustices, right? Not so easy. Aho kashtam, aho anyayam, yadyuyam dharmanandana. Dharmanandana means this Dharmaraj, Yudhishthir Maharaj, is the son of personification of Dharma. He is the son of Yama Dharmaraj. Although you are Dharmanandana, although you are son of Dharma, you faced so much of adharma. You are subjected to so much anyaya, so much kashtam. Aho anyayam, yadyuyam dharmanandana. Jivitam narhata klishtam. Amidst such miseries, such difficulties, jivitam means to survive and to live is very difficult. It's very difficult to survive by experiencing these difficulties. Very intense difficulties, not small difficulties. Vishan mahagneha purushada darshanat asatsabhaya vanavasa kritshrataha. Mrudhe neka maharathastrato draunyastratascha hare bhirakshitaha. I think yesterday we recited this shloka. Vishan mahagneha purushada darshanat. Bhima was poisoned at a young age. Their house was set on fire. So many things happened to Pandavas. They had to face all these injustices. How many difficulties you have faced, but you could survive. Ordinarily, people cannot survive such injustice. You are sleeping happily in the home, and suddenly somebody comes and sets fire, and you don't even realize that the home is made of lac, inflammable substances, and somebody is deliberately trying to set fire to that home. Home is made with a malicious plan, and it's not a fire accident. It is deliberately created fire. So that is the condition they faced, and suddenly they had to realize it and they had to escape from there. So it's not easy to survive through all these difficulties for any ordinary person, but you people, Pandavas, you could survive through all these difficulties. How could you survive? The last line answers. Vipra dharma achyut ashraya. Ashraya means to take shelter. Where did they take shelter? Three things. Vipra means Brahmanas or Vaishnavas. Dharma means righteousness, virtue, or Parodharma, which is Bhakti Yoga. Right? Devotees and process of Bhakti. Achyuta means Krishna himself. Because you have taken shelter of Vipra, Dharma and Achyuta, because you have taken shelter of the Vaishnavas and the process of Bhakti and Krishna himself, you could survive through all these difficulties. So, please understand, devotees, we face so many difficulties in our lives, unlimited difficulties, because it's a part of living a human life in this material world, that too in Kali Yuga 2025. We will definitely face difficulties, But what gives us strength to survive through those difficulties? What gives us strength to endure, to tolerate, and to not get overwhelmed by those difficulties is the shelter of Vipra, Dharma and Achyuta. The shelter of Krishna, the shelter of Krishna's devotees, the shelter of Krishna Bhakti. So, whatever happens in life, never leave the process of Bhakti Yoga. Never give up the process of Krishna consciousness. Whatever happens in your life, never leave the association of devotees. Whatever happens in your life, never give up Krishna. Never give up Krishna. Krishna is our only shelter. Krishno rakshatu no jagatraya guru Krishnam namadham sada Krishne nakhila shatravo vinihata Krishnaya tasmai namah Krishnadeva samuthitam jagadidam Krishnasya dasosmyaham Krishne tishthati vishvametadakhilam He Krishna rakshasva mam. Mukundamala Stotra. Kulashekar Alvar is praying like this. Krishna rakshatu no jagatraya guru. Krishna is the Jagat Guru. He is the Guru of all the three worlds. Krishnam namadham sada. Please take shelter of Krishna only. Please offer him obeisances. Krishne nakhila shatravo vinihata. It's only Krishna who can kill all your shatrus. Not the external shatrus. They may survive, but there are internal shatrus. Yesterday we discussed, right? Snakes. How many snakes can you accommodate in your home? You remember? Right? How many snakes will you accommodate in your home? 0. Although there is enough space in your home, you will not accommodate even one snake. No compassion. Actually, Prahalad Maharaj says, Modeta sadhu rapi vrishchika sarpa hatya. Whenever a sarpa, snake, and vrishchika, a scorpion is killed, even sadhus also rejoice. Yes, achha, mar gaya. That's what they think. So snakes are not accommodated. Similarly, we have so many shatrus. Shatrus are the anarthas in our hearts. Lust, envy, pride, greed. So Krishne nakhila shatravo vinihata Krishnaya tasmai namah. Only Krishna can destroy these anarthas. How will Krishna destroy? You need to invite Krishna through your ear holes, through the door of your ears, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Then Krishna will enter through this door into the home of your heart and he will destroy all the anarthas. Krishne nakhila shatravo vinihata Krishnaya tasmai namah. Krishna deva samuthitam jagadidam Krishnasya dasosmyaham Krishne tishthati vishvametadakhilam He Krishna rakshasva mam. This entire universe manifested from Krishna and will go back into Krishna. It's created by Krishna, it's conserved by Krishna, it is maintained by Krishna. Therefore take shelter of Krishna. Nobody else. Right? And the best way of taking shelter of Krishna, Vipra Dharmachyuta Ashraya, the best way of taking Ashraya of Achyuta is chanting the names of Krishna. Shatruchhedaika mantram Sakalam Upanishadvakya Sampujya mantram Samsarochheda mantram Samuchita tamasaha Sangha Niryana mantram Sarvaishwaryaika mantram Vyasana bhujaga sandashta santrana mantram Jihve Sri Krishna mantram Japa japa satatam Janma saphalya mantram. Take shelter of Krishna's names. Chant Krishna's names. Shatruchhedaika mantram. When you chant Krishna's names, then all your enemies are destroyed. The internal enemies of lust, envy, pride, greed are destroyed. When those enemies are destroyed, we have no enemies. Out of ignorance, we think that he is my enemy, she is my enemy. But they are not our enemies. The real enemies are inside, in the form of greed and lust and pride and envy and arrogance and false ego. These are our enemies. And by chanting Krishna's names, these enemies are destroyed. Then we can exclusively take shelter of Krishna. Only by taking shelter of Krishna. Vipra Dharmachyuta Ashrayaha. Take shelter of the holy names of Krishna. Take shelter of the devotees of Krishna. Take shelter of the process of Bhakti Yoga, Navadha Bhakti. Then you can survive through all these difficulties. Aho kashtam, aho anyayam yadyuyam dharmanandana. Jivitam narhata klishtam. Any ordinary person who encounter such difficulties cannot survive. Jivitam na arhata klishtam. So many difficulties. How could anyone survive? Right? Extremely fierce difficulties. Survival becomes a question mark, ordinarily speaking. But Pandavas not just survived, they thrived through these difficulties. They came up with flying colors. How? Vipra dharma achyuta shreyaha. Taking shelter of three things. Vipra dharma achyuta. Krishna, Krishna bhakti, Krishna bhaktas. Bhakti, Bhagavan and Bhagavatam. These are our shelters. Right? Kashtam. Undoubtedly Kashtam is there in the lives of anybody, whether you are practicing bhakti or whether you are not practicing bhakti, Kashtam is there. Please recite this shloka once again. Aho Kashtam aho nyayam yadyuyam dharmanandana. Shloka for memorization, homework for tomorrow. So please recite this shloka and memorize this shloka and come back. Tomorrow there is a quiz. So, who experiences difficulties? We are seeing Pandavas. Let me go a little deep into this concept. There are three types of people who experience difficulties. Whether it is Kashtam or Anyayam, three types of people experience difficulties. Number one, ordinary karmis who have nothing to do with the path of bhakti. Karmis who are just doing karma and they don't do bhakti. Such people experience difficulties. Clear? Why do they experience difficulties? Karma. Because they are karmis, they are doing karma and they will get karma phala. If they do good karma, they will get punya. If they do bad karma, they will get papa. Papa means suffering. The other day we were discussing, right? I don't know, in this forum or some other forum. Not here, I think. Yesterday we did not discuss it. One of the prayers of Kunti Mata is Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bhi shravana smaranarhani karishyan iti kechana. You remember this shloka? How many of you know this shloka? Please recite again. Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bhi shravana smaranarhani karishyan iti kechana. Why people in this material world are suffering? Klesha. Klishyamanana means they are undergoing klesha. Why? Avidya. What is avidya? Ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of our real identity as a servant of Krishna. What is our real identity? Real Swarupa. Jivera Swarupa hai Krishnara Nitya Das. We are all servants of Krishna. Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhutas Sanatana. We are all amshas of Krishna. So our real identity is amsha of Krishna, das of Krishna, but we have forgotten it. That is avidya. And we embrace the new identity. This is false ego. Our true ego is we are servants of Krishna. Our false ego is we are man, we are woman, we are Indian, we are American, so many other identities. We are Brahmanas, we are Kshatriyas, we are Brahmacharis, we are Grahasthas. So many identities, temporary identities are creeping in. And we start embracing those identities. We start identifying ourselves with those temporary designations. That's the problem. That is called false ego. That is because of ignorance. Avidya. And that avidya, ignorance, leads to kama. Kama means material desire. And that kama leads to karma. Karma means material action. And that karma leads to klesha. Klesha means material reaction, which is difficulty. Avidya leads to kama, kama leads to karma, karma leads to klesha. Clear? Cycle is clear? Avidya, kama, karma, klesha. Ignorance leads to material action. Ignorance leads to material desire. Material desire leads to material action. Material action leads to material reaction of difficulty. Clear? Therefore, karmis suffer because of karma. Clear? Second category of people who suffer. The devotees. First category, they don't practice bhakti. They don't do Sravanam Kirtanam. They don't chant holy names of the Lord. Therefore, they are suffering because of their karma. But devotees also suffer. All of you are devotees. You don't have any suffering. You don't catch cold. You don't have throat pain. You don't have headache. We also suffer in so many ways. Why practicing devotees also have to suffer? They are doing Sravanam, they are doing Kirtanam, they are doing Archanam, they are reading Bhagavatam, they are speaking Bhagavatam. Still they also suffer. Why devotees who are practicing the path of bhakti, path of Krishna consciousness also have to suffer? The answer is not karma. Karma is not the cause of suffering of a devotee. We briefly touched it yesterday. Karma is not the cause. Then who is the cause? Although they are practicing bhakti, there are some lingering anarthas inside. Some little lust is pending. Right? Some little envy is still there. In your chanting Hare Krishna, there is some envy somewhere. Thoda bach gaya. So envy is there. And there is some little greed, some pride, some illusion, some bewilderment. So because of these traces of anarthas which are still left over in the heart of a practicing devotee, there is some suffering. Then, not just anarthas, aparadhs. While practicing bhakti, sometimes we do aparadh. What are the aparadhs? Vaishnava aparadh. We may criticize other Vaishnavas. We may unnecessarily find fault with other Vaishnavas. We may discourage them. We may disrespect them. We may demean them, consciously or unconsciously. Right? So we do Vaishnava aparadh. We do Nama aparadh while chanting the holy names of the Lord. Right hand is chanting sincerely. Left hand is checking WhatsApp messages sincerely. Or seeing Instagram reels sincerely. Right? My hand is chanting. Where are your eyes? On the reels. Right? So my hand is counting sincerely. Where are your ears? On the gossip. Somebody is gossiping, let me go and hear the gossip. Hare Krishna is going. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Correct, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Yes, he is like that only. So there is some, externally some gossip is going on, chanting is also going on. Right? We don't hear the holy name that we chant, but we expect Krishna to hear the holy names. Right? Whenever there is difficulty, we say, Krishna, I have been chanting since 16 years, 16 rounds every day. I did not break my vow of chanting 16 rounds every day. But why there are some difficulties in my life? Why I lost, why I got lost in my business? Why I got this disease? So we keep blaming Krishna, we keep questioning Krishna. We expect that Krishna exists only to destroy our difficulties. He has no other job. Not we. Many expect like that. So although we don't hear our chanting, we expect Krishna to hear our chanting. That's a problem. So anyways, a practicing devotee suffers because of anarthas and because of aparadhs. There is Nama aparadh, there is Vaishnava aparadh, there is Dhama aparadh, there is Seva aparadh, there is Guru aparadh. So many aparadhs are there. While interacting with devotees, there are some mistakes. That is called Vaishnava aparadh. While chanting the names of the Lord, there are some mistakes. That is called Nama aparadh. When you go to Dham, and if you don't adopt to the expected behavior in a Dham, that is called Dham aparadh. Or we may see the Dham with a, Dham means holy place, Punya Kshetra, with a material vision. That is called Dham aparadh. Or sometimes we may do some mistakes in deity worship. That is called Seva aparadh. Right? Sometimes while interacting with a guru, we may make some mistakes. That is called Guru aparadh. So Guru aparadh, Nama aparadh, Dhama aparadh, Vaishnava aparadh, Seva aparadh, so many aparadhs devotees do, practicing devotees do. So there is some suffering. And this suffering is not a product of karma. Karma is gone. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. It's not because of karma, it is because of Krishna's arrangement. Krishna arranged this punishment or this suffering or this difficulty in the life of a devotee who is practicing bhakti because of the offenses that the devotee has committed. Right? Clear? Second category clear? We can elaborate, but I'll go to the third category. Third category is pure devotees. They are not practicing devotees. They are perfect devotees. Right? Kunti Maharani, Pandavas, Draupadi Mata. These people are not practicing devotees who are chanting Hare Krishna and dozing off in their japa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. They are not doing japa like that, by the way. They are chanting the names of the Lord with full absorption. Right? So they are not practicing devotees. They are above aparats, they are above anarthas. They don't have any envy, pride, greed, lust, anger, etc. They don't do nama aparat, dhama aparat, seva aparat, vaishnava aparat, etc. They are above aparats, they are above anarthas. They are not practicing devotees, they are pure devotees. Still they suffer. Pandavas are suffering. Aho kashtam, aho anyayam, yaduyam dhanvanandana. We just read the sloka. How can they suffer? The answer is, it is Krishna's will. Krishna wants to announce and declare to this whole world how sincere his devotees are, how committed the devotees are to the process of bhakti. Even if they undergo tremendous amount of tribulations and sufferings, their faith in Krishna will not get slackened. Right? To announce this degree of faith that a devotee has in the path of Krishna consciousness and in Krishna, Krishna subjects them to some suffering. Got it? Is it convincing? Does it sound logical? So, just to show all of us that even though there are difficulties in your lives, you should never give up the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Now you open Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is filled with the stories of devotees who suffered so much. Right in the first canto, you will find Arjuna suffering, Draupadi suffering, all the Pandavas suffering, Uttara Mata suffering, Abhimanyu died, Kunti Mata suffering, Bhismadeva suffering. Then if you move to the later cantos, you will find Chitraketu Maharaj subjected to pain. And in the first canto itself, Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die within 7 days for a small mistake he has done. So Bhagavatam is filled with the stories of devotees who were subjected to different kinds of suffering. Undoubtedly they were suffering. And they are not ordinary devotees. They are not dozing off in their japa. They are not having any anarthas or aparats. They are pure devotees. Ambrish Maharaj was subjected to suffering. When Durvasa Muni created that fiery demon, Ambrish Maharaj was he did not move a single inch. And when Durvasa Muni was doing this Brahmanda Brahman, Ambrish Maharaj was fasting for 1 year. Why a Vaishnava has to do like that? Already fasted for a long time. So anyways, all these devotees underwent so much suffering, but not for their purification. When a practicing devotee faces some kashtam or anyayam, some difficulties, that is for their purification. Because this person has so many anarthas, by undergoing some suffering, he will be purified of anarthas. Because this devotee has some aparads, by undergoing some suffering, he will rise above this aparads. So, the message here is that practicing devotees suffer for their purification, but pure devotees don't suffer for their purification, but for their glorification. Right? They are glorified. Their commitment to the path of bhakti is glorified. How much they are absorbed in bhakti despite facing unlimited customs and anyayams, that is glorified. Their faith levels are declared to the whole world. There is one devotee, Chitraketu Maharaj. He had a son. And that son died at a young age. I will not describe in detail. I think some of you know the story of Chitraketu Maharaj. How many of you know the story of Chitraketu Maharaj? Okay, quite a few of you. So, Chitraketu Maharaj's son died. Then his wife Kritadyuti blamed Krishna. Krishna, what kind of God are you? You are behaving like an immature, inexperienced child. When the father is still living, how can the son die? Father is elder, son is younger. So son is supposed to live longer and father can die faster. So how can you allow a child to die during the lifetime of father? What kind of creative laws are you implementing? As if somebody has given all the SOP of how deaths have to be organized, how births have to be organized. Someone has given her some protocol, some sheet. She is blaming the Lord. And many things she said, but in short, in her case, we see that she lost faith in the Lord because she faced a difficulty. Some people lose their faith in the Lord when they face difficulties. If you see in typical movies, Indian movies, whenever the hero or the main character in a movie face some difficulty, at that time the hero will go to the temple. At that time he will sing a song blaming the Lord. Exactly at that time, so many bells in the temple will start ringing. At that time only there is thunder and lightning in the sky and there is rain. At that time only the director will move camera in 100 different directions. Right? Have you seen old movies? I have not gone to a theater for the last 15 years or 16 years. So I don't know much. But in those days, whenever there is some difficulty, they go and blame the Lord. Are you there? Do you exist? Are you hearing our prayers? So that's what people do. So God is meant to be blamed for our difficulties. That's what they think. But they don't understand Brahma Shloka. Tatenu kampam susamikshmano bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam hridvagva purbhir vidadhan namaste jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhak. Tatenu kampam susamikshmano bhunjana eva atmakritam vipakam. I am experiencing all the difficulties because of my own mistakes. This is the understanding of a devotee. Devotee takes responsibility for one's suffering. A devotee does not shift blame on the Lord or someone else. Don't blame anyone for your suffering. Whether you are a devotee or not a devotee, no one is the cause of your suffering. Who is the cause? We are the cause of suffering. We did a mistake and we are supposed to experience some punishment for that mistake, some reaction for that mistake. And that reaction may come through others, not from others. There is a difference. Don't blame the instrument of your karma. Right? Like, if a postman comes with a money order, in those days people used to send money order. So there's some good news. Not money order, okay, it's extinct now. People have this, what is that? GPay, Google Pay, something like that. I don't know that. But so they transfer automatically. From this figure, phone will go into, the number will go to another phone. But say, for example, the postman gets a wedding invitation, right? Your friend's marriage is going to happen next week. The postman will give you an invitation. Here is your friend's marriage. Please take it. You can thank the postman, but will you say, thank you so much for arranging for the marriage of my friend. He's not getting married for a long time. You have conducted his marriage. We are very grateful to you. Will you say that to the postman? You will just say, thank you, take the card and go for marriage later. See, if the postman comes with a death news, your grandmother died, will you go and catch the collar of the postman and say, why did you kill my grandmother? Will you say like that? So postman is just communicating the news. Right? He's not killing your grandmother. He is not arranging the marriage of your friend. He is just a postman, delivery boy. That's all. Similarly, when we are getting some difficulty or custom through somebody, he is just delivering the quota of suffering that we are supposed to experience as a result of our own past deeds. Don't blame him. He's an innocent person. And if he's actually deliberately causing suffering to us, you may take an appropriate action against the person, but without any hatred, without any grudge. For example, we have, say, 10,000 rupees in your pocket. Rupees or dollars, whatever you have. That much, 10,000 rupees in your pocket. He sat there. Some thief came here and he had stolen your 10,000. Right? He has stolen your money and you gave a report to the police and then they tried to catch the thief, and then after 24 hours they finally caught him. They recovered the money. They gave the money back to you and they punished him. Okay? Story is clear? Now, you lost your money and within 24 hours you got your money, and the person who has stolen that money is also punished. Till now story is fine. Now, the person sitting next to you has 20,000 in his pocket. The person sitting behind you has 30,000 in his pocket. Why did the thief come and steal your 10,000 only? Why did he not steal his 20,000 or 30,000? Did you ever think about it? We are meant to experience that reaction because of some mistake that we have done in the past. So we have to do the needful and get the thief arrested so that he doesn't trouble anyone else, someone else. But at the same time, this 24 hours of anxiety that you have experienced while trying to recover your money, that anxiety you experienced because of some mistake you have done in the past. This is how we need to internally reconcile things while externally addressing things. Externally address the difficulty, but internally reconcile it. I faced this difficulty as a result of my own past deeds, but on the human plane, whatever I need to do, I am supposed to do. This is what we need to understand. Aho kashtama, aho anyayam. Now coming back to the third category, why pure devotees suffer. So all these calculations are for normal janta, practicing devotees or karmis. But in the case of pure devotees, they suffer just so that Krishna can declare through their case how faithful a devotee is. Yesterday we discussed this example, right? Uttara Mata. Ashwathama released a Brahmastra to kill the child of Mother Uttara. And this fiery Brahmastra is coming towards Uttara's womb. And Uttara came running to Krishna. What does it show? She did not lose faith in Krishna. This Krishna did not protect my husband Abhimanyu. He allowed Abhimanyu to be killed. Without any justice, he was killed. And this Krishna never protected my husband Abhimanyu. Will he protect my son Parikshit today? I will not go to Krishna. Did Uttara say that? What did Uttara say? Pahi pahi maha yogin deva deva jagatpate na anyam tvadabhayam pashyet yatra mrityuhu parasparam. That's what she said. She said, I don't see anyone else except you who can protect my child. If Krishna questions, I have not protected your husband, how come you are maintaining your faith in me still? Her answer is simple. Even your so-called lack of protection is ultimately protection only. When a devotee dies, where will the devotee go? Only two options. First option, the devotee will go back to Godhead. The devotee will go to Vaikuntha or Goloka if the devotee is qualified to go there. If the devotee is not yet fully mature in bhakti, if some purification is still pending, the devotee will take birth in another family, in another lifetime where he can continue the practice of bhakti. Only these two options. Devotee will not go to hell, by the way. Right? So, Krishna is our well-wisher. Even if the Lord allows a devotee to die or experience some difficulties, still the Lord is kind. Still the Lord is our well-wisher. And pure devotees have faith in the Lord that He is my well-wisher. Marobi, Rakobi, Jo Ichha Tohar. Right? Whether you want to kill me or protect me, it's all your wish and I'm completely at your disposal. Aslishyava padartam pinashtimam adarshanan marmahatam karotva. So whatever you want me to do, I will do. Whatever you want to do to me, you can do. You have full authority over me. Just like the Lord says, Aham bhakta paradhino, the devotee also says, I am Krishna adhina. So Krishna is bhakta adhina, bhakta is Krishna adhina. That's their mutual relationship. Devotees will never lose faith in Krishna, even though they face so many difficulties. To declare the unlimited faith and shraddha that a devotee possesses towards Krishna allows his devotees also to suffer. What's the time now? Okay, I'll conclude in 2 minutes. So, by seeing a devotee experience so many difficulties, a pure devotee experiencing so many difficulties, we should not lose faith, we should gain faith. How? Although this devotee is experiencing so many difficulties, this devotee never gave up the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. That's how I need to also develop unflinching, unmotivated, undeviated faith in Krishna's lotus feet. That's the lesson that we need to take. I need to take shelter of Vipra, Dharma and Achyuta. Vipra, Dharma, Achyuta, Ashrayaha. This is the message that the first shloka that Bhishma spoke gave. I thought of covering at least 4 or 5 shlokas today, but what to do? I could manage to cover only first shloka. One more little perspective here. When a devotee, when a pure devotee, not a practicing devotee, when a pure devotee suffers, it is for Krishna to declare the faith levels of a devotee to all of us, that I have said. But there is one more perspective. Actually, in a situation of calamity, we get an opportunity to intensify our remembrance of Krishna, to intensify our faith in Krishna, to increase our dependence on Krishna, to become more intense in our prayerful attitude. But if we are constantly experiencing a materially comfortable situation, we may not feel the desperate urge to depend on Krishna. So to increase our dependence levels and prayer levels, intensity of prayers, Krishna arranges difficulties. It's good. It's very nice. If there are only a series of pleasant incidents in our lives, life may become a little monotonous. We may not become so desperate to take shelter of Krishna. Therefore, there should be some difficulties. If I eat gulab jamun now, and after that if I eat a rasgulla, and after that I eat a rasmalai, then 4th round I eat a sompapadi, then after that I eat some payasam, then 6th sweet, tell me some name, I'm not getting any name. You take rabdi, then somebody comes with a bowl of chakra pongal, South Indian chakra pongal. Will you be able to take it? But if someone comes with a mirchi bhaji, then you will enthusiastically eat it. Too many sweets I ate, let me eat some mirchi. Let the throat be little burnt, right? Or pakoda, something like that, right? Then after eating mirchi bhaji, when your throat is burning, then somebody comes with that sweet rasgulla, rasmalai, you can enthusiastically eat it, right? So this experience of this hot mirchi helps you taste that rasgulla better. But after eating 10 sweets, taking 11th sweet will be too much for you. But after eating one mirchi, taking one sweet is like very soothing for you. Similarly, if there are only series of pleasant incidents in our life, it may become a little monotonous. We may not become sufficiently desperate to depend on Krishna. Therefore, when there are some difficulties intermittently, we will remember that we are not the controllers. We will also develop detachment towards this material world. We will also intensify our dependence on Krishna. We will remember Krishna. That is good for us. Let's have some difficulties in life. Whatever difficulties come on their own, at least let us accept it. We may not have the bandwidth to pray for more difficulties like Kunti Mata. What did Kunti Mata say? Vipadaha santutaha shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yasyat apunar bhavadarshanam. Whenever we are facing some difficulties, Krishna, you have come here. You gave us darshan. If we have to experience some calamity or difficulty to have your darshan, let there be series of calamities in our lives. No problem. Vipadaha santutaha shashvad. Let my son be poisoned again. Let our house be set on fire again. Let my daughter-in-law be disrobed, or some insult is done to my daughter-in-law again. Because you never allow that to happen. You will come with unlimited sari, and we will be able to see your great love and affection towards all of us. Right? We will be able to experience this intensified love and affection for all of us. So please, let there be more calamities. By the way, Kunti Mata is not a calamity lover. Somebody likes idli, somebody likes dosa, somebody likes pizza, somebody likes paratha. Kunti Mata likes difficulties. That's not the message here. The focus in this shloka is not on difficulty. The focus in this shloka is on darshan of Krishna. Bhavato darshanam yasyat apunar bhavadarshanam. When we have darshan of Krishna, darshan has two meanings. Okay, I think I'm going to elaborate. I'll continue tomorrow. But here, to conclude our discussion here, we discussed only one shloka. Aho kashtam aho anyayam yadduyam dharmanandana jivitam narhata klishtam vipra dharmachyutashrayah. 3 categories of people face calamities. Karmis face difficulty because of their karma. Practicing devotees face difficulties because of some anarthas and aparats for their purification. And pure devotees also face some difficulties because of because it is Krishna's will, and Krishna wants to declare how faithful his devotees are towards him in all circumstances. And on top of it, those difficulties also enhance our mood of dependence, our mood of surrender, our prayerfulness. And it is good to accommodate those difficulties. So we need to accommodate diversities, we need to accommodate adversities also. Then our Krishna consciousness will be more mature. Thank you so much. We'll continue from the second shloka tomorrow. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I humbly thank Mahesh Prabhu for organizing this event for 7 days. So just before the katha here, I have been hearing his story, his life story for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes. He was sharing all his realizations. So it's very enlivening to hear the experience of Krishna consciousness of a sincere devotee who is not only practicing bhakti, he is facilitating the practice of bhakti of so many devotees. So one who gets to hear Harikatha is glorious. One who gets to speak Harikatha is also glorious. One who arranges for the speaking and hearing of Harikatha is even more glorious. That is he. And we have His Grace Sri Vallabh Prabhu very nicely supporting and guiding and leading this whole community. I am grateful to both of them for this opportunity. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, all you Vaishnavas ki jai. I had one question, Prabhu. We'll have a 10 minutes session for question and answer, but I will begin with the first. Sorry, I'm taking this privilege. Prabhu, you said that Bhishma Pitama, lot of people blame him that why he did not act at the time when Draupadi was being disrobed, although she had approached Bhishma Pitama. She approached Dronacharya and everyone. And then your answer was that he wanted Krishna to come and help.
In one sense, yeah.
By this, understanding, although we are not as elevated a soul as Bhishma Pitama because he is Mahajan, Mahajano yena gatena panthaha. But still, some people will think that if any anyaya is happening somewhere, which is happening in Kali Yuga, on any Istri or someone, then I should also keep quiet and I should also not act to save.
Let Krishna come and act.
Yeah. And also I would like to add, then in our Shastra there is one shloka which says, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshatam. Could you just connect these two and please explain? And
thank you for such a thoughtful question, Prabhu, Mahesh Prabhu. The answer is that when we face such circumstances where an innocent person is being mishandled or mistreated by an unscrupulous person, if it is within our capacity, we need to do the needful. We need to address it. If it is within our capacity. If it is beyond our capacity, what can we do? But if it is within our capacity, we should just do the needful. So Bhishma's case is very unique. As Mahesh Prabhu said, we are not like Bhishma. We need to follow the footsteps of Bhishma in terms of his devotion. But some great souls do some unconventional things. They are not supposed to be followed or imitated. We need to follow Krishna's teachings. But can we follow Krishna's example of lifting Govardhan mountain on his little finger? Anyone here? We need to follow the great example of Lord Shiva's tolerance and humility. But can we follow the example of Shiva while drinking poison in Samudra Manthan? So what to follow and what not to follow? We need to have that discrimination. So Bhishma fought on the side of adharma. We don't have to follow it. We should not follow it. Unless Krishna specifically directs us, we may not take that stance. So some things we must follow. Bhishma's devotion, Bhishma's love, Bhishma's affection, Bhishma's malleability. The principle of Bhishma's malleability to the will of the Lord, that we must follow. Right? So when somebody is in difficulty, it's our responsibility to help them as much as humanly possible if it is within our capacity. So we should not neglect them. The best example is, for example, Arjuna. Arjuna said, how can I fight with my own relatives? Bhishma, Drona, Duryodhan, all are my relatives. How can I fight with all of them? What did Krishna say? In the name of tolerance, in the name of humility, you should not and you need not allow yourselves to get exploited. So you can tolerate pain and pleasure. You can tolerate happiness and distress, but you should not tolerate injustice, especially if it is within your capacity and if it is your responsibility to address that injustice. Does it make sense? Right? So we thought of having some shorter questions. We can elaborate this for half an hour also, but I'll take the next question.
Hare Krishna.
Just before we take on the next question, I wanted to again make a mention. Kindly hold on. It'll take another 10 minutes of question answer session. We will also end with a small kirtan. Okay. So just wanted to mention that those, if any of you are going out after Prashad, do not forget to visit the book table. And if you're going out, make sure that there's no crowding, there's no blocking of the roads whatsoever in that particular spot. Yeah? So having said that, any questions? I stopped. He's waiting from yesterday. Haridaswari Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavats. Prabhu, yesterday you had mentioned about a wonderful point about how our life has to be always focused on ensuring that we receive Krishna's smile. And
Samsiddhir Haritoshanam.
Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. And we also see in Srimad Bhagavatam 1:18 that Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, where Prabhupada writes that it is also to please the devotee Bhagavata. So in this case, in Bhismadeva, he has all the devotees present and he has also Krishna present. But he particularly chooses to welcome Krishna, whereas he welcomes others as well. So in our life, what should we focus in terms of when we have Krishna and devotees?
Both. Vipra Dharma Achyuta Ashrayaha. It's not only Achyuta Ashrayaha, it's Vipra Ashrayaha also. Means devotees, we need to take shelter of devotees. We need to take shelter of Krishna. We need to take shelter of Bhakti. And taking shelter of Bhakti means taking shelter of Bhagavan and Bhaktas.
Is there an order of precedence in this, or is there an order of preference in when we come with all these three?
First Vaishnavas, then Krishna. Right? And Vaishnavas direct us to Krishna. Bhaktya Sanjataya Bhaktya. So we get Bhakti by the grace of devotees. Next question.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very, very much for the enlightening class.
Stand up, Nankishore. And I would also say, sorry to interrupt your question. He translated the Hindi yesterday, and his Hindi is like a perfect word to word. Thank you very much for that.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhu, thank you very much for the class, enlightening class. My question is specifically on the point, Prabhu, where you said that when a postman comes and delivers, neither you give credit to the postman, nor you criticize the postman. You just take the message and deal with it appropriately. Many times as a sadhaka, what happens, we read this, understand this, even speak on it. But when that situation comes, to actually apply that on ourselves becomes like very, very heavy. At that moment when this knowledge is supposed to be used. So what to do in those situations that we can firmly apply that rather than blaming somebody else, take it in our stride and just proceed in Krishna consciousness. Thank you, Prabhu.
To keep it concise, I will share 2 points in this regard. Firstly, all our sadhana, swadhyay, sadachar, seva, sangha, all these things should bring us to a level where we respond appropriately on the spur of the moment. Responding appropriately on the spur of the moment. So now, a student goes for an interview, campus interviews. And the interview lasts for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And the interviewer is asking some questions. And the student is answering. The candidate is answering. So one particular question the interviewer asked, the student did not recollect the answer. He doesn't have an answer. So he came out of the interview hall. After 10 minutes, he remembered, "Arey, I know the answer to this question." Will he be given entrance? Gone. Chance is lost. Similarly, examination. So after giving your exam paper to the invigilator and you came out, in 5 minutes, within 2 minutes also, if you remember the answer to a question, you cannot go back and ask the answer sheet and then refill the answer sheet. So control Z option doesn't work sometimes, right? So basically, by practicing bhakti, we need to become more and more and more mature, where we respond appropriately in that particular situation. But that's the first best thing. But there is a second best thing. Say if you have not responded appropriately on the spur of the moment, on the spot, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes or after 1 or 2 days, you realize that, oh, I have done a mistake. You can be a little careful, and next time you can respond better, in a better way. That's what growth is. We are work in progress. So the work is not finished, work is in progress. So let's continue to intensify our sadhana, our prayer, our chanting, our swadhyaya, our seva, so that we come to a stage where our words and actions are appropriate on the spot. Not that we are not given sufficient time to prepare and then respond, but we have to respond on the spot appropriately. That will take some time and maturity. Secondly, you asked another question also at the end. What did you say at the end, Prabhu? You said some statement.
Yeah, Prabhu, I was saying that when the actual incidents happens, when we are supposed to think like this from scripture, it becomes very heavy to think that way. You require a lot of effort to think rightfully that time.
Correct.
When the incident is not there, you can say, yeah, postman came. Even if I have to give a class, I can say, Arey Baba, postman came. But when that incident is in my life, that time to tell myself postman came, that becomes a different ball game. It becomes very
Correct.
heavy.
That's what we need to intensify our practice to respond appropriately when the postman comes.
Right. So what to do that's the time we can smoothly accept like that.
What to do means intensify your sadhana, intensify your practice. Secondly, you can also have some good friends. Let me give more actionable tips. Overall, intensifying practice is one answer. But if you have some good friends, when we are responding little aggressively or impulsively in certain situations, we need to have some friends who can control us. We need to give some liberty to other devotees to correct us. When we become too sensitive to feedback, people will not give us corrections or feedback for improvement. So for us to grow and come to a more mature stage, we need to receive inputs from mature devotees.
Thank you. One question from Mataji now. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept normal obeisances. Hare Krishna. Thank you for today's session.
Okay.
Prabhuji, I wanted to, like you mentioned about the 3 types of devotees and karmi devotees and pure devotees. I just was thinking that even the Lord, like when Lord also takes avatar, we see that he's also suffering. Can you tell something and what lesson we get from it?
Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. The Lord's tribulations or sufferings are not ordinary materialistic people's sufferings or tribulations. As the Lord appears as a human being in this world like Ram or Krishna, although they do superhuman activities, still to set an example for common people, so they may face some difficulties or tribulations, or they manifest some faults like Krishna steals butter and all. But these aspects of the Lord's Leelas must be taken as special ornaments in their characters and not exactly sufferings. And the 5th canto of Bhagavatam, 19th chapter, Prabhupada writes that Ram faced so many tribulations as a part of his leelas to show us how difficult this material world is, to declare the intensity of pain in this material world. The Lord personally experiences that pain. He actually does not experience, but apparently experiences that pain personally to tell us that this is not a place for you to live. Just be detached from this. Okay, thank you. Sometimes Krishna is misunderstood. He is blamed by Satrajit and other people. So misunderstanding is common in this world. Just to declare. Okay, thank you. Then
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In another place, it's written that even unconsciously chanting Stobam Helanam Evava, Vaikunta Namagrahanam, Asheshagaharam. So it is easily said that the difficulties are instantly washed off by just even casually chanting the name of the Lord. But here when you were saying, Prabhu, that difficulties for devotees are for purification, which do we take it easily? Should we be believing that...
In contrast to the shloka that you quoted, Sanketyam Parihasyam Vastobham Helanamevava Vaikunthanamagrahanam Asyesha Aghaharam Viduhu. In contrast to this shloka, I have another shloka. Bahu janma kare yadi shravana kirtan tabuna paibe Krishna pade premadhan. How do we understand this? This is one extreme. Even if you chant and hear for hundreds and thousands of lifetimes, you will not get Krishna prema if there are offenses. And the other extreme, even if you casually, unconsciously, indirectly chant, all your sins are destroyed. But these extremes can be reconciled in a simple way. Protection from entering hellish planets is given. Right? You need not enter hell if you chant the names of the Lord, even unconsciously. That much is guaranteed. But Krishna prema is not guaranteed. Krishna prema is very high. So, okay, he chanted indirectly or unconsciously, he will not enter hell. So, to that degree it is fine. But will he get Krishna prema? Not much. Like Ajamil chanted unconsciously Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. But Ajamil did not go back to Godhead immediately. He was saved from entering hell. Vishnudutas rescued him, but Ajamil did not go to Vaikuntha immediately. He went to Haridwar, he chanted for 12 years, then he got entrance. So the basic protection from sinful reactions and entering hellish sufferings, that much is available through unconscious chanting or inattentive chanting. But to actually attain Krishna prema, we need to intensify our chanting and prayer and dependence on the Lord. Does it make sense, Mataji? We can elaborate on this. Actually, Shastra is like mother. Mother may sometimes slap the child. And the mother will hug the child. Similarly, Shastra also sometimes gives extremely liberal statements, sometimes extremely strict statements. So, these liberal statements use to encourage a devotee who is very morose. I am useless, I am fallen soul. Nay. Krishna is very merciful. Kamvadayalam Sharanam Brajama. He gave motherly position to Putana. You are not like Putana. You never give poisonous milk to Krishna. Don't worry. You can console him like that. But another devotee, I am the greatest devotee in this world. He is very proud. I have done so many services. Then you tell, Prabhu, Bahujanma kare yadi Shravana Kirtan tabuna paibe Krishna pade premadhan. Even if you do Shravana Kirtan for hundreds of lifetimes, you will not get Krishna prema. You tell them. So you need to understand which statement has to be applied in which context. But both are correct. Philosophically, both are correct. So here it's speaking about intensity. Here it's liberal. So this liberal statement in the scripture should not make us lax and complacent in our bhakti. And these extremely strict statements should not scare us in bhakti. We need to take them in the right spirit and we need to practice in a balanced way to the best of our ability. Does it answer your question, Mataji? Okay.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, my question is on Srimad Bhagavatam. We say Bhagavad SAPTAH. It was spoken on 7 days, so that's how Bhagavad SAPTAH is known. But what is in Kali Yuga for us to finish it in 7 days or to make it practically? I don't think it's conceivable that way. What should be the mood that the people like us, the devotees coming as an audience? And secondly, what is the phala? What is the benefit that, what's kind
the
of
benefit that we are aspiring for by hearing Bhagavatam is to make our bhakti steady. Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Naishtiki bhakti means steady practice of bhakti. Anishtita bhakti means there is no steadiness. One day you are enthusiastic to do bhakti, other day you are very complacent. So that is called anishtita bhakti. So to convert this anishtita bhakti into nishtita bhakti, to bring some determination and fixed upness in bhakti, you need to hear Bhagavatam regularly. Not 7 days, regularly. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So that is the phala, as I said. By hearing Bhagavatam regularly, we'll make our bhakti steady. Eventually we'll get Krishna prema. Yesterday we discussed, right? Yasyam vai suruyamanayam Krishne parama purushe bhakti utpadhyate. That's the phala. Then as far as mood is concerned, the mood in which we hear Srimad Bhagavatam is the mood of developing love for Krishna. The mood of begging Krishna for some inspiration to practice bhakti. Oh Bhagavatam, please help me intensify my sadhana. Please help me make a emotional bonding with Krishna. And Bhagavatam is filled with the stories of so many wonderful exalted Vaishnavas. You need to pray to all these Vaishnavas. Please inspire me in our own bhakti. Prahlad, hearing Prahlad's story should inspire bhakti in us. Hearing Dhruva's story should give us determination in our bhakti, in our practice. So the mood is like a beggar, begging for some inspiration, begging for some devotional insights that keep us going in bhakti. And the phala is love for Krishna. Thank you.
So Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for your question. It's very common to have SAPTAH because Parikshit Maharaj got a 7-day window to do it. But technically, we saw that even he could not get into the actual Bhishma Stuti today. So it needs so much of time. So that's why we decided that we'll just do one chapter, get into the depth. But there's a requirement for a continuous study. I have to say that we have Nityam Bhagavata Sevya happening here in Damodar Desh. Every day you can connect up on NBS, on YouTube, in Hindi. And we are completing after 15 years one study of Srimad Bhagavatam. From the 29th of this month, we will start again in both English and in Hindi, that you will do in the morning at the comforts of your houses, 6:45 to 7:30 Srimad Bhagavatam. Having said that, thank you very, very much, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. Simply wonderful. Please do not lose heart. He's going to take us through Bhishma Stuti in full in the next few days. But right after the SAPTAH, when we complete here on the 28th, we still have him here with us for another few days. We're going to have some very, very unique topics. One is he's going to speak on a Ramayana topic, because 6th, 4th and 6th we're going to celebrate Ram Navami. But in addition, we are also adding a particular special topic which will be of interest to all of you, businessmen, professionals and devotees, on leadership from the scriptures, not merely Ramayana. So I was a student of his when many of us here went to Ujjain, and we heard his special sessions on leadership from the scriptures. It was unbelievable. And I have a lot of notes on it. We'll have an opportunity to do it. Watch the space. We're finding for the right venue also for those 2 days, which is the 29th, 31st and 1st. And if anybody else would like to also host, let us know. But we definitely want a big space, and we want to, we'll publish the dates and the times and the venue later. Do not miss the opportunity there too. Now, at the back of the hall, we have the special booklets or various books that Prabhu has produced. In addition, my request is that every one of you should have a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam in English, in your mother tongue. If you don't have one, please make sure that you place an order. Have Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is a 9-volume edition too. And kindly, we also have Bhagavad Gita in English and Hindi, Krishna books. Please do not miss the opportunity to procure books, buy books, gift books to everybody. Thank you very much, Mahesh Gaur Govinda Prabhu. Thank you to all the organizers. Thank you for all the deity department team, Rajali Lanath Prabhu, and the whole team. Anybody who would like to connect, sponsor, please let us know. Let me thank a few devotees here. Vandana, stay back for a second. I would like to thank, and I'm seeing so many wonderful devotees here today. Vandana and a mother are here. In the early days, in 1980, 1990, 91, we have had so many programs in their house. And Vandana is the owner of a huge group of schools called the British Orchard. And they are there in every nook and corner. We want to have centers of Hare Krishna in every nook and corner. All her nurseries are centers where we can teach Sanskrit formally. So it's an invitation from the Bal Utsav teachers to go and conduct programs right in their school. Right, thank you Vandana for that. I would like to thank Umeshji who is here. I would like to thank Kumar Vasuji, the entire Parivar who are here.